Yes, greetings. We're there with you. We have a compact situation we want to bring to you, but it requires a lot of attention. See, you have to be courageous. So we're there on things and times, you know. We're not go again. We are steady, so things and times. So the greatest love, yeah, you know what I mean? Wonderful. Come again, one more tune.
1, 2.
Listen.
I see them. I know them.
Yeah.
They try to fuss and fight. So I don't want to be around Babylon.
Man can't bunny lie.
I see them and I know them. To mash up the youth men lives. I see them try to stop the youth man. We try each and every day to work and we till we don't get no pay. I don't wanna see them because I know them. Ooh, I don't wanna be around Babylonia. I don't want to be around Babylonia. Oh, I know them. Oh, and I see them. I know.
Yo, half pint. What you say? Freedom. Come again, star. Come.
Bangili wahai. Bangili wahai. Bangili wahai. Freedom fighters moving on the African border. Freedom fighters moving on the African border. All my brothers in America and all my sisters in Canada, also in England.
Yes. Yesterday I talk about a man named Kwame that come out England and make friend with us and talk a whole heap of something. But we have a whole heap of problem ourselves as African Caribbean that we give to ourselves and nobody not give to we. We're not consistent in what we say that we think we want or we would like to see happen for us as a people. I may never come for join the pack, the wolf, the dogs, and the mouse, and the rat. No. I never come for that. That's why I make people understand, say, me a Muslim. I'm going to try to help us as a people to realize our opportunities and realize and reflect on the fact that we have talented people, skillful people, well-qualified, well-educated people that refuse, for some reason, not to do things in the light of what I think we should be doing. But some things takes time. I don't know no doctor's medicine, even if it's a herbalist, that you just take and, and we as human beings, we expect something magical to happen. Once we take the medicine, we get some relief and everything. So I'm a juicer. I know say that there's things I can give to a person, no matter what kind of resilience them have. Not me. See, you get stuck in these things now. Those herbs are those vegetables that I combine and give to that person. It can flush them out and remove the bad bacteria from inside of their intestine. You understand? And no matter how them try to put up a resistance or resilience, it's not working. And it's not that me take something and mix with some laxative in it. It's just, you have to know the vegetables. And you just make the combination. And that's that. The rest is done to the person. Why? Once them drink it. So once it's in my house, within what? 10 minutes of the extraction, then the bathroom, the laboratory is calling. Simple. You understand? Why am I saying that? There's some people that hurry come up. You understand? Hurry come up. I don't know no business. Not that I'm a business person, but I don't know no business that got off the ground like that unless the people them have money already. So what the hell them I run business for? You understand? And some people that got money already, those things become like hobby for them. Something to as a pastime. Like the people them who want to buy United now, Except the Arab, for the other man, that's just loyalty to him country, and that's just like what you call the thing, monopoly for him. You understand? So on his resume, when he passes out, it says that he was an honourable man for England. He took Man United and Manchester United away from some other Arab prying eyes and so forth and so forth. Whether United win anything or not, assured his legacy. But for him, it's some jubilant thing. You understand? So I not talk them type of people. I talk about people them who I try structuralize something. Patience and perseverance works, man. You understand? All the time. But the people them who hold up land, they're blasted ignorant. They hold up land like the land is theirs. Not knowing so that the land is theirs. They will be buried inland, underneath land, earth. Yo.
You gotta take me for your footstool. Good things got to do the truth. Now it's coming. You don't know what the future might be. You see me down today, I can be bigger than you tomorrow. Who that show off should be your race. That I never put us on this lane to show up and I'm ready. I see them on the road, they acting so strange. I only observe and watching them moving.
Yes, Rastafari. Hey.
Ooh yeah, now, scabba-dip, yeah. Ooh,
You're speaking the word called love, but it's not coming from your heart. It's coming from the tip of your tongue. Yes, I know you never love. You have a carnal mind. You do the children things that's unkind. And now you're telling me that you love, but I know you never love. What you gonna do when the master come your way?
And you see the master there? The master is not some man, you know, but most of the people them think some man. The master is God Almighty. You understand? And when that happen, the man can't turn around and say, yo, you happen. The angel, no, them can't say a word. See? So nobody get to hear nothing. That's why no dead can come back and tell anybody anything. Yeah, them people talk say, but them got do this and that, and then the person say that the mother or somebody, listen here, you don't get no messages from over there, so I tell you, say, this is what you need to do. What you get is maybe I get a vision, but you don't get no information to say, if you do this, this is not going to happen to you, so you better don't do that, and so forth. No, that don't happen. Not no, not ever. It don't happen. So why you hold on to land to rot it, you got rot. You understand? Seriously, you're going to get buried in a land. So hold on to it. Squeeze it.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mighty Frankie Jones, man. Frankie.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is a message I sent to you. It says, Tata and pray, Jaja.
Bebo.
And no bother with no tribal human, because tribal.
Yeah, Bristol, where you say, hold up. Frankie Jones, man, can't play one without the other. Hold this. Come.
Hey there, if you are lonely, you can call on me.
Oh, you mean, man, Frankie Jones. Now you got the great man called Carlton Livingstone. Come again. Come.
Don't follow rumors. Don't follow rumors.
If you should hear.
If you hear something about me, come say it to me. Come say it to me. Don't follow your friend. What they say, they're only trying to tear us apart.
Yeah, Carlton Livingstone. Rumor. Come again, man. Rumors.
Don't follow rumors. Don't follow rumors. If you hear something about me,
Spectre.
come say it to me. Come say it to me. Don't follow your friend. What they say, they're only trying to tear us apart. So don't follow rumors.
Great Carlton Livingstone, man. Serious thing.
Don't follow rumors.
Don't follow rumor. Yeah.
Now
If you hear something about me, come say it to me. Come say it to me. Don't follow what your friends are saying. They're only trying to tear us apart. So don't follow rumors. Don't follow rumors. It will tear us apart. Say don't follow rumors. Don't follow rumors. It will tear us apart. Now you hear, I've got this girl on the side. Oh yeah, and there you go.
Yo, Pablo, what you say? Come, quick.
Musical sounds gotta rewrite. A song to make you come along and take a stand. A song to make you really come and down and rock. I need to take a stock and do it right on, yeah. Say that's a musical rewrite. But let's you out fair and your faith and your favorite rumors that come in the land. I say the rumor shall go on, yeah. And then the other year a war in a Babylon. And then a lead against leader. God has spread fast rumor. So I say that King Selassie is dead. But then the fire good or red. God when Jaja come I say it's really a feature. God they was spread fast rumor.
Yes, man. Hey, man.
Now, brothers and sisters, good day. See, how you doing? I hope you're doing fine. Cause I would even make your mind out of video. Go in and tell you about the time a little wiggle down with the cock along. Columbus is a thing and you should never keep on dialogue. Oh, God.
Oh, King Almighty, Father, I thank thee. Yeah. King Almighty, oh Lord, I thank thee.
What?
From the time of my creation, Heavenly Father watches over me. Father, I thank thee. Who is like unto thee?
Greetings, Ja Levi.
Really, why you got to do your thing? Until your bumper sound cold like junking. So baby, count your pistol in your stocking. Well, I tell you about we will sing all like junking. Oh baby, come by walking up.
Man call Augustus Clark Production. I blow Pablo.
work, but them won't get paid. Me own the yard, but them won't come stay. Them beg it till them old and grey. That's a run like a hamster and them not reach no way. We build the church and them still not pray. Put it in a verse, but a two them a play. Read up Proverbs, but the fool can't say. Why you listen, Mr. Fox, and your boss
Begging
DJ.
you a 5 cent, sir. Begging you a 10 cent, sir. Cannot help, no cannot help.
Alright, struggle, summer struggle, cause them not work for nothing. Like them don't know for you, so take life is a button. Side by one, now want beg me something. Them now want kill goat, but them love their mutton. Then they wind up, man, and I expose the glutton. Sleeping soldiers end up with nothing. Just a sleep on a bleach from the baker's dozen. Like them disabled all of a sudden.
So if you keep on doing what you all are doing, you will end up in chains.
Who there?
Skylarking, ooh, skylarking. That is what you do today. Skylarking,
Skylarking.
skylarking.
What I'm talking?
Before they stand up firm on their feet.
Stop back, man. Well, Facebook, summer free. Instagram, look at me. I got 1,000 likes. Follow me, follow me. Let me post this soul pic. Well, it's TBT. Yeah, I'm chilling with my boys in the NYC. Send a tweet in the streets. Everybody wanna see what I got on my feet. Yeah, the new Nikes. Yo, you shoot a fuck girl, yeah, a wine for me. Or you can't buy me something, man. I take a Hennessy.
Skylarking.
Our teach them, man. Come. So we have to play now something from Mikey and him brother, twin brother, Negos Roots. Yeah. Laxi Castell.
Why must I be so cruel to myself?
Oh, you mean? See? A people do that to you. I make you do that. You see, I like today now with their mass. And heated emotions gives off a reaction. See? But says this Juma, the Imam know to use water to ease down the temperature. Oh, and I love it. Water, you know, water. I tell you. Laxi Cruiser Castell. Mikey.
Why must I be so cruel to myself? Why must I be so unkind to myself? Knowing that you don't really love me and that you love someone else. Knowing that you don't really want me, your love is for another man. But each night I can't well thinking about you. Thinking about the lovely things.
See, as a young Rasta youth, you know, then I met no woman control like that. You know, see it there? I will sing, we write about it. You understand? Laxi and Mondale, we write about it. I when I feel no way I push it outside. You understand? Okay. I met no woman can come by it and both them must control the emotions of something. Back off of that. Marcia, relax yourself. I tell you. So right now we're going to go to the university and pay attention because this one is serious. This one going to hit your brain like a bomb. Strong, strong, strong. Because you now get to understand Al-Islam, what it means from the legal parameters. You understand? Al-Islam. And the person who is giving you the lecture is a European Askanaki. See? 50 years of studying the Sharia of Al-Islam. So hold tight, call your friend. If you're religious, you're a God-fearing person, and you don't have no prejudice in your mind about Islam and everything, but you want to understand what life is, yeah, pay attention. Call a friend. Here we go. Laxi Castle. Yeah, when we get Laxi Castle, we come back again. Mondale.
This event to celebrate
Pay attention.
with much sorrow. You're leaving the academy for a while, but I'm sure that you'll not leave the academy in your research, talking to Professor Zaritsky. I was thinking how I'm going to connect this lecture, which has to do with my studies of Islam for the last 50 years, with the lecture that was given before about Darwinism, whether it's scientific or not, whether it is religious or not. And in fact, I found out that Islam in the 7th century already spoke about natural selection. And in fact, the birth of Muhammad, the creator of Islam, is an outcome of a divine, and if you want, natural selection. In Arabic, the name of Muhammad, Muhammad's got many names, but one of the most important name is Mustafa. Mustafa in Arabic means he who was selected. And the idea is that since the time of Adam, the first human being, God selected from every generation the best of all the descendants of Adam. So there was some kind of natural selection, one generation after the other. Until at the end, he selected the best of the best of the best of the best. And this is the Prophet Muhammad. And he chose him to give him his word, the exact word of God, and of course selected him to be the prophet that will bring to humanity the finest of all revelations. This is Islam. So if we, usually when we speak about Islam, when people speak about Islam, they use terminology which they take from their own culture, it's got nothing to do with Islam. They use terms which they hear and they don't know what they are. And we know it in this country, all of a sudden a word like hudna appears and everybody writes hudna. But if you ask whoever writes about hudna in the newspapers, what does it mean? He's got no idea that we are talking about a legal concept. The last thing that I heard was something like tahdiya. Now tahdiya, and everybody started writing about tahdiya. Of course, people that don't know proper Arabic, I'm talking about proper Arabic, and they don't understand what it means, and they don't understand that the Arabic language being the language of God, the only language of God. All the other languages are not the divine language. This is the language which was God's prophecy, or God's holy book was transmitted. That the Arabic language is the most versatile language possible, and the Arabs are experts in using this language to finesse, which only people that really live with this language understand. So what I want to do this evening with you is to talk about the theory of war, the theory of peace, and talk about few terms which are used by Muslims and by Arabic-speaking Muslims. Now, there are many Muslims in the world. You know, we're talking about 1.25 billion people in the world. We're talking about a huge quantity of people that are Muslims in the world. And it's not such a simple thing to make so many people Muslims. It means that we are talking about a culture which is highly rich, highly interesting, and highly rewarding. And that's what the most important thing. It's highly rewarding because it basically, for the ordinary person, it's a very, very simple religion. I'm not talking about philosophers. I'm not talking about academicians. I'm not talking about the great theologians. I'm talking about the simple person for whom Islam is the most rewarding of all religions. At the end of the story, if he is a good Muslim, When he dies, he is going to go straight into paradise, and paradise is described in the most colorful way possible in the Quran. And for this reason, I think we should speak about Islam with great respect. And not just, as I can hear some people say, well, it's Islam, it's nothing. No, it's not. And it's not a simple thing that a person like me and others like me in the academy, in fact, dedicated their life for the studying of this culture. Now, Islam is not a religion in the ordinary, simple way of thinking. Islam is a culture which comprises everything. And most of all, it is a culture based on revelation, and it is a culture which is based on a legal system. It is basically a legal system. It is a legal system which comprises everything. It comprises the life of the individual, it comprises the life of the society, it comprises the state. That's one thing. Secondly, it is a world religion. It's not like Judaism, which is not a world religion. It is connected with the chosen people, and it's only for them. And it's not connected with the territory of the world, it's connected with one small country. Islam is a world religion connected with the world, and it wants to establish world order. For Islam, the whole world is one state. And all the people of the world are those people who live in this one state. Now when Muhammad came with this idea, the words came from God to him. And it says, I don't know how many, do any people know Arabic here? They don't. So I will not quote in Arabic. In Surah 61, verses 11-13, we hear that God sent Muhammad with a true religion, with the right message, with the right path, in order that it should overcome all the other religions. Which means that there is only one truth. Jews and Christians, which are called the people of the book, had once their own truth, but they were not a very good custodians. And they falsified their books. That's why Allah had to send another prophet, a modern prophet, that should bring the last word of God and the only word of God to humanity. This is the Quran. Nothing can be superior to it. And because of that, this religion is regarded to be one that stands on top of everything else. In Arabic, they say, Al-Islam ya'lu wa la yu'la alayhi. Islam is superior, nothing can be superior to it. Which means we are talking about not only the final word of God, not only about the finest word of God, but the truest of all revelations. Now what does the community have to do? The community of the believers. Those people that were lucky enough to have their hearts open and to have accepted the call of the Prophet Muhammad. What do they have to do? They have a mission in this world, to bring the word of God to the whole universe, or if you want, to the whole of this planet. For this, they have got to make an effort. And the effort is, the end of the effort is that we will have one state. It's going to be an Islamic state all over the world. Now at the beginning, After the death of Muhammad, people that took his place, the caliphs, sent the armies of Islam. And they were very, very successful. Similar in many ways to the creation of the Roman Empire. Within 100 years, Islam created an empire by conquering all the nations, all the territories, from the Indus to the Atlantic, and from the Indian Ocean to the center of France. At the year 732, they were stopped. And they were stopped, and from then onwards, Islam first of all stabilized itself from the Pyrenees over Spain of today, North Africa, the Middle East, to the borders of India. The rest of the job of Islam, the rest of the work of Islam, was done not through the army, but through persuasion. Through persuasion, Islam entered beyond India. Through persuasion, Islam entered beyond the Oxus and the Jaxartes, talking about the two rivers pouring into the poor Aral Sea that doesn't exist anymore almost. Now, how was it created? Yes, Islam was stopped, and until today, of course, it dreams about creating a world empire. It is imperial by nature. But it's not imperial because Jake and John wants to create an empire, or Muhammad and Hussein want to create an empire, because Allah wants that His word and His law is brought to the rest of the world, not remaining only in Arabia. That's the idea which was created concerning the development of the Islamic law in the world as such. So how is it done? The Prophet spoke about the need to fight. And a term was created for this fighting. The term was jihad. But the word jihad is not a simple word as you probably read about it in the newspaper. It doesn't mean only a holy war. The word jihad comes from the Arabic verb jahada, which means to make an effort. And the jurists tell us, and we are talking about the jurists of Islam, the jurists tell us that there are 4 kinds of efforts. One, they say it's in the heart. One is by the hand. And one is by the sword. The one by the hand has got 2 sides to it. The one by the heart is the need for the person to fight the devil. That's a very great jihad. It's not so easy to fight the devil. Nowadays, the apologists of Islam today, they say, no, jihad is only to fight the devil. That's true. That's a very great jihad because you know that it's very difficult to fight the devil, to fight the evil inclinations. But there are also other sides of jihad. There is a jihad by hand. And the jihad by hand and mouth, that's what it's called, jihad by hand and mouth. This is to support doing good and to refrain from evil. But you are talking about a moral idea. The 4th kind of jihad, this is the sword. And this is called a small jihad. Very interesting. The big jihad is fighting against your inclinations and the moral idea. But the small jihad is to take the sword and to create the empire of Islam. And the sword was used. And the sword was used, as I said, until the 8th century. And then when the Turks came to the world of Islam in the 11th century, it continued. And it stopped finally at the 17th century at the walls of Vienna. From then on, Islam started its retreat and found itself in a situation whereby it is not anymore a victorious religion, but a religion which is now being defeated. This way or another, the Mongols or the other. But at the end of the story, we are still with a very, very great empire and with a dream to develop this empire into the world, into a world empire. Now, one asks oneself, what we are talking in fact. If we speak about a territory which is already occupied by Islam, what happened with the other territory which is not yet being occupied by Islam? The Islamic jurists divide the world into two. Those parts which are already under the rule of Islam are called Dar al-Islam, the house of Islam, or the territories of Islam, or the dominion of Islam. The territories which are outside, which are not yet conquered, they are called the house of war. Now, all what I'm telling you now is based on a book which was written by a Muslim scholar called Majid Khadouri, and the name of the book is War and Peace in Islam. So no, I'm not in fact saying a word which is basically my own. I'm in fact repeating what this very important scholar wrote in 1955. Here and there I'll add a few verses, but basically this is what he wrote, and anybody who is interested in this type of literature is invited to read this book, War and Peace in Islam, published in Johns Hopkins in 1955. So the world is divided. On the one hand, you have the house of Islam, where peace should be dwelling. Peace is only where Muslims are. If they fight amongst each other, and it happened a lot, then they fight amongst each other. It's a family business when they fight amongst each other. But the real enemy is that this part of the world that is called the house of war. And of course, when we speak about the house of war, we speak about people that are regarded to be infidels because they are not Muslims. And Allah says to Muhammad, when he sent him with the true religion, that he should overcome all the other religions. Now, when there is a war, it can have also times in which there is no war, where the war ceases. And it happened quite a lot in the relations between Islam and the non-Muslim part of the world. Now, what happens also when within the Islamic territories are people who are not Muslims? What do you do with them? And the answer is very simple. Usually, Islam met either Christians or Jews. These people, although they are regarded to be in a way infidels, they are, on the other hand, people that had a revelation. That's what they are called, the people of the book. And because they are the people of the book, they've got a special position under Islam. They are tolerated people. Now, usually when people speak about tolerance, people get very excited about what a wonderful thing is tolerance. Now, tolerance is not a wonderful thing. Because tolerance is not something which you get because you've got the right to have it. But tolerance is because there is somebody who tolerates you. And he calls the rules. Therefore, Islam, since it is the religion of the elite, of the rulers, it is the ruling religion, If it wants, it can tolerate, and it tolerates the Jews and the Christians. But Jews and Christians must accept the superiority of Islam and the superiority of the Islamic law. There is no way in which you can live under Islam and not accept the superiority of the Islamic law. If something happens and Jews and Christians, or Jews or Christians, establish themselves in a territory which used to be Islamic, once used to be Islamic, like the Spanish today in Spain, this is regarded to be a reverse of history. This is something which is unacceptable. It might be only a temporary thing, but it's unacceptable because any territory which had been conquered by Islam cannot change its status as far as the Islamic law is concerned. Once an Islamic territory, always an Islamic territory. It is connected with Spain, it's connected with Sicily, and it's connected with many other places in Europe itself. Now, if the war continues all the time, the idea is that there is a holy war. This holy war does not have to be only by the sword. Sometimes the sword is not needed. There is a war by the mouth. There is a war by propaganda. There is a war by bringing the message of Islam to the people which Islam regards them to be those who live in the house of war. And once this idea is brought, the idea is adopted, that in fact Islam can be spread not only by the sword but also by the word of the mouth and propaganda. This has been done in few places throughout the world, and it's being done today also. Now, the question is, we have a situation which is the normal situation, as Majid Kaduri right. The normal situation is that there is a permanent war. That's the permanent relations, the permanent war between the house of Islam and the house of war. That's the real situation. War. Usually by the sword. But what happens if Islam finds itself in a situation whereby it cannot fight? There is a reason for it. It cannot fight. The most important reason is that the enemy is too strong. It happened in Islamic history many times. I'll give you one example which everybody knows, the Crusades, the Crusaders. For very, very long periods, Islam found itself in a situation where it could not fight the enemy. Now it accepted its existence, not de jure. Didn't accept the existence of the Crusaders as something which they have got a right to be in a territory which is regarded to be an Islamic territory. But they accepted them as de facto. I remember very well when President Sadat came to this country, and I remember it because at that time I was connected with this business, and he said in a famous speech of his, "We did not accept your existence, now we do." And everybody was very excited about it. And the answer is they should not be excited, because the idea is that you don't fight something which is only in your imagination. If Israel is an imaginary thing, you don't accept it as a fact. So you are fighting something imaginary. And therefore, Islam accepted the fact that there were crusaders in this country. And for a very long period, it kept peaceful relations with them. So what happens if you keep peaceful relations with the enemy? It means you stop the jihad. But the jihad is incumbent on you. It's incumbent on the Islamic community as such, not only on every individual. On the Islamic community as such, it is incumbent on the community to fight against the infidel, to fight for the creation of the Islamic empire, for the creation of the Islamic state, to bring the law of God to these territories. The idea is not to bring the law of God to the individuals. It's not Christianity with personal salvation. Also world religion, but there is personal salvation. Here we are talking about a territorial attitude, which means the whole territory of the world has to become Muslim and to succumb or to be under the rule of the Islamic law. So what happens if you cannot do it? Usually because the other side is too strong. The Islamic jurists tell us that in such a case, you are allowed to go to create an armistice. Armistice. Pay attention, the word which is usually used in Arabic is salam. Now salam is not an armistice, it's a condition, it's a situation. It's not a legal concept. Pay attention. Salam, peace, the way we translate peace into Arabic, this is not a legal concept. It is a situation. It's a situation in which there is no war. But the legal concept, and that's what we are interested all the time because Islam is a legal system. The legal concept is hudna. Hudna in Arabic means ceasefire, cessation of war. There is no fighting in the time of the hudna. It is based on some sort of historical event connected with the life of Muhammad. This was the precedent. Doesn't make any difference at this moment. But what's important is that in a case of hudna, we are talking about a legal system, a legal concept. Is hudna a peace forever? The answer, it is not. Because it is impossible to stop jihad forever. And when I talk about forever, I'm talking about for a very long period. Hudna is connected with a very limited period that must be put into the text of the hudna itself, whether this text is written or whether this text is not written. And the text of the hudna demands that the maximum time of the treaty, in this case the treaty of the armistice, is 10 years. Sometimes it goes to 10 years, 5 months, 40 days, and something like that. It can be also elongated over another 10 years, another 5 years. But remember, you cannot stop the war for the expansion of Islam forever. Now, what happens in modern times? In modern times, we find at least 2 peace agreements in this country, which I'm not so much interested in them, but since we are talking about it, 2 peace agreements which basically are not according to the laws of Islam. They are peace agreements which are done according to the laws of nations. It is done, these peace agreements are done because some sort of other considerations came in, but they are not Islamic. And this is one of the weaknesses of these agreements. Because if they are not Islamic, you can hear it even today, that everybody who is a lover of Islam, a Muslim, a theologian, a jurist in Islam, would say to you, these are illegal agreements. And that's why they are very precarious. And they will be very precarious in the future also. But let's go back to what I was saying before, and this is the This is the agreement of the Hudna. That's the only legal possibility to stop the jihad. There's no other possibility and no other way of creating a situation where the jihad can be stopped. Always to 10 years or less. However, there is one problem with the idea of the Hudna. What happens if Islam becomes very strong and can renew the jihad? The answer is that the Hudna at that very moment stopped to be followed. It stopped to hold as an agreement. Because in this case, there is no reason whatsoever to stop the holy war, which of course aimed to bring, as I said, the word of God to the world. Now, in a nutshell, I try to bring you the idea of war and peace in Islam. Let me just sum it up for you for 1 second if you didn't pay attention. One, Islam is a religion that wants to create a world empire. It's not an idea of an imperial idea, but it is part of the religion itself. The world empire is territorial. Remember, territory, not people. People are not, there's not a question of Islamizing the people in these territories. Because Islamization, if a person accepts Islam, it is because God opened his heart to accept Islam, not because somebody convinced him, although to convince people to accept Islam is a very important thing. It's part of some kind of jihad. And this wish to create an Islamic empire can never be stopped, except in one condition, when Islam finds itself in a situation whereby it cannot continue the war. Then he can revert to one thing, to armistice, to ceasefire, and nothing more. There is no possibility whatsoever to create a situation whereby Hudna can stop forever. Thank you.
ברוך השם, אנחנו רואים כבר ששלום לא יהיה. תודה רבה.
Any question? No?
Any questions?
No.
Everything is clear?
I have one question. When you compare Salah ad-Din attitude and I think it was Abd al-Malik that actually conquered and destroyed the kingdom of Jerusalem, I mean, how does it fit to the principle of jihad? Was it changed after the Crusader War?
No, well, but what happened with Saladin, he went into jihad. He also called it, like others at that time, jihad. He succeeded in beating the Crusaders.
So you see, and you heard, the only thing that he said, from my understanding and my education, my knowledge, Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing upon him, did not create Islam. But jihad feasibilillah is a life struggle for all human beings. But it's been expanded to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as he said, in the 4 areas, 4 boundaries. Very important. But every second of every human life and plants and everything is jihad. It's a struggle. It's all about surviving. Yeah. Jihad, feasibilillah. Okay. Make notes. So now you hear the legality of Islam. It's culture. This is not do's and don'ts. This is do's. Okay. Don't get frightened enough. Listen.
He that is wise keepeth his life. He that keepeth his mouth will cause no strife. A wise man is strong, he's a man of knowledge. His wisdom is too high for a fool. Open up his mouth in evil places, but leave all vengeance unto Jah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. He that is wise keepeth his life. He that keepeth his mouth will cause no strife. Food says the glutton 'cause he is hungry. The son of Jah will always be filled. Make no false witness against thy neighbors. Leave all vengeance unto Jah. Oh yeah. Oh.
See, a long time I want to do my things, man. Listen.
Here I come again. Rock your soul, I am man. Rock your soul. To rock your soul.
Yeah, Shaka.
Here I come again. Rock your soul, I am man. Rock your soul. To rock your soul. Tribes of Israel used to travel to Jerusalem.
Yeah, what they me show no? Jerusalem. Jerusalem. In Abyssinia, in Ethiopia, the first Jerusalem. So hear me now again. Oh, you going to give up the line of Judah for King James and his European business? It's because you don't know, and you don't want to know. That is the ignorance. See? Don't want to know Islam because you want a good woman, an African woman, an international, universal woman. Don't bother with that. See? Again, I used to be saying, how is it that we give up the line of Judah for King James, Martin Luther, Roman Catholic, and all of these something? And then make some people come tell you who say, yeah, it was African. Listen, all those names were not used. Christianity, that they weren't used. See, it's a European phenomenon. And then me just bring it what there and show the people them. And I know the British authority gonna feel, so who the hell is that guy? Huh? Jerusalem. That you all I hear say Lalabella. And it's the first Jerusalem. But then you hear about David and you hear about Solomon. And you just get cocky head and stupid about wives and everything. And don't look into the wisdom and the fact that it is the Almighty who selected them. as prophets and messengers. Very important. And then to look at Cleopatra. And then to look at Yemen. Very important. But because you see that now as Muslim, huh? You don't hear about Christianity over there, you hear about Muslims. And then over Ethiopia, you don't want to hear about all the people them. You say, forget them Muslims. There's so much. And only a fool behave the way we have been behaving all these years. See? And as Rasta, we work very hard and searching to our souls for who we are. And when I come up and say, yo, I'm an Israelite and this, that, and everything, you know, we want to know who we is as African people, black people in the Caribbean and so on. And what we can align ourselves with. See? Very important understanding. See? So what they may bring the thing and put it up there. Al-Quds, which is now in Palestine. You see? So, if we don't know nothing about culture, we take culture for amusement and play. So, this is Labrador Grove, 1975, somewhere about there. Our behavior.
Lord, yeah, black I kill black, Lord, but it a go bounce right back, yeah, let me tell you.
That time them were Rasta that, you know, you see? Yeah. We used to have a Capri. A Capri. You understand? A Rasta man that time. We walk about street of England now, London, I look job, look work. The sitting in girls is what we have, but we not get no money. We not, you understand? And boy, the weather cold and everything. So the Twinkle brothers, Norman Grant and them brothers, them come. And that's because we have some people, them, you know, them get a good thing. You understand? Yeah. And them can wear ballet and slacks and everything. You understand? And them turn up at the glass, them. And go on away, you know. Yeah. And then you go outside and them push some metal in a door. Yeah, them have car. See? Okay. But little more, right, the one with friendship again. Oh, gosh, man. Come.
Change your ways, you wicked man. Going around, cheating your fellow man. You kill and you robbing, fulfilling your evil plans. But a day will come, I say, when you shall pay
Sugar Miner playing him guitar at Studio One. Come.
When you take the lead, make sure you can maintain it. Oh gosh, race rough. Old veteran. Watch out, man. Watch it, sprinter stay. I am a sprinter, stay a long distance runner. So why nobody try test me? Sprinter stay a long distance runner. So nobody try test me. Watch it. I can lead and hold on or come from the middle of the pack, or even make a move from the back. Watch it. Like a champion house, bubbling on the track. I'm giving everything I've got. No make sense you jump up front if you can't hold on. Enough man coming from the back and then kicking up a storm. Looking over your shoulders, the crowd is on your heel. You're running out of stamina, it start to reveal. You shouldn't test the
Scene reveal. Oh, continue.
Are you ready? Tell me if you're ready. Yes, I'm ready when you're ready. Are you ready? Run to rock this and one, tell me you ready. Are you ready? Run come skank this and one, tell me you ready. Oh Lord, no one no more hooligan fashion. Just run come rock to this rhythm pattern. One piece of love for man and woman, and more consideration for the younger ones. Cause a long time we have feel it in the Babylon, but together we can step out oppression. This is dedicated to all conscious man. Get up.
We are just a sugar. Come, your children they need money. Come.
Hey, hey, I thought it would be better. Lord of mercy. No, I'm a brandy outstepper. If I am guilty, yeah, you must say, think I will pay. But you gotta protect our brothers on the way, each and every way. Even when I say, good guy. Now I'm a victim of society. By the words men say. Well, no matter what them say, no matter what them do, I don't regard them protect I. From the evil man, as I would say. Say so naughty, don't know where we are go do. I said me don't know where we are go do. Say the Babylon them want I. But Jaja guide and protect I.
How you mean? Say Rasta?
I said the way down south where the children used to play, you could hear them singing night and day. All them singing about the lovers rock. Sipping the baby, don't look back. Wow! But I play your bumper top to a very long strap. Ain't no turning back because the king is on top. With the lovers is right. Yes, it's the lovers is right. But the people from the west wanna have a feast. People from the west, I'm saying you are the best. People from the north just wanna get it smart. People from the south just I jump up and shout about the lovers right. They don't do back. They over Jesus is not a problem from the top as I'm a playing baby, but don't do back though. Yes, so keep your love light shining, shining on night night. Yes, so keep your love light shining. Shining on me as I would see to make up me feel like a bird in a tree. Well, hear what I say, love us back. Take the moon to make it bump it up and do the Babylon drop on your musical lollipop and baby don't.
What a conversation. Come now. Educate your mind. Come.
Oh, Jah, I beg you, oh, Jah, I beg you, please, Jah, please have mercy. Visit the children and don't let them cry.
them they have to learn how to express yourself and feel no way. Don't watch other people, deal with yourself. Come!
Ooh, yeah.
Bebo! Oh,
Not to with your shoes. A Julie Dre. Down there with the rounds. A Julie Dre. Down there with the rounds. The only smoke is silent and feel alright. Not it way, don't fuss nor fight. We all unite. Truly are. Ooh, yeah.
12 tribe of Israel, you know. Oh, Lord. Oh, gosh.
Special dedicated to all the little sister them. We are winding up them bottom in our shots. Oh Lord.
Black people.
I said, people, are you ready? Bow. Oh Lord. And people, are you ready? Blah, blah. Oh Lord. And people, are you ready? Blah, blah. Oh.
Yeah, man. Topper. Come.
Sound away the nation from station to station, as I would say. For the younger vibration. But I tell you, this a rocking vibration. Oh, say that the people, are you ready? Oh, Lord, come and we do jam down rock steady. Oh, Lord, say that the people, are you ready? Oh, Lord.
Yo, the application never work for what? Republic. Watch and see. Watch that space. Pay attention.
Whoa, now, I wanna know why they are so, yeah. What a destruction flowing through the universe.
Yeah, so you see now, Al-Islam is a very, very, very serious thing. See? Very, very serious thing. It cannot work with 1,000 different cultures. Because everybody come with them personality and everybody come from a nation and a tribe. But Al-Islam has its culture. Because Al-Islam is a way of life. And it has a million do's and a million trillion don'ts. You see? Okay. So when I get down to the fact where we have to treat women them with justice and fairness and equality, oh yes. And when I switch, can't do that, because then we are go away from the Almighty. You understand? So we will further prefer dead or die than to switch. You understand? And now where I get all of these different peoples, and some of them are backed by the Mayor of London. I give we all kind of different face. But we're not going to switch. And the Islamic identity is very serious. So people them who feel say it stopped we from being who they did know or whatever they're thinking. It's people them who are effortless. So when push does come to shove, it's people like that that would turn around and say if they didn't know. And that hurts. Because if they didn't know what, they don't know already. They just didn't want to be involved. You see? Okay. It's like sometimes a person feels they will lose something, or them brethren or somebody will say something to them, because them not work with what everybody else work with. But when you're sick by yourself. When you're in agony, it's by yourself. And when you're dead or dying, you're by yourself. And when you're getting buried, you could have get buried with a whole heap of different people, because you know sometimes them say them have mass grave. You understand? So the logics that me I try to say, you know, is every man and woman for ourselves, and God is for us all. See? It's a whole heap of thing we can put up where discovery and man and black mud and this and that. But it don't mean say that we are the controller or controllers of the universe and everything. It just needs it's significant that black is not something to be prejudiced and racist about. You understand? Black is not something inferior. So that's what that should mean for us. People have level head. But we are work with what the white man are deal with and Farrakhan are deal with. What kind of points are we getting and where are we going with it? Where are we going with it? Our complexion ain't changed, hasn't changed with all the superiority of us. Not that we don't have it. But we're not produce. So we are looking for what ancestors did do, which is good. But what we are do? What we are doing is regurgitating and exciting and playing amusement and everything. And then just get sick and sad and mad. So the man them that some of our people call supremacists, then we'll keep moving because we're worried about them, we're concerned about them, and we're not concerned about ourselves. So they have asked us, I'm saying, ask us every question. Our predecessors, were they there fighting a white or considering a white and black thing? It's evident it weren't. Because X thousand years ago, we were so well established as human beings, citizens of this earth. And we was doing whatever we were doing. And we were connected with the Almighty and His angels, and we were getting our blessings and so on. But as in Egypt, we did something wrong. And also the Romans came in and gave us a beating. So it's not that everything went down on us, but we did something wrong. And what we did wrong is people who not read. Is that we stopped obeying the Almighty. And it's not we. It is those who are leading us, which is us. But if we tell one now, Akhenaten, Tutankhamun's family brought us back. Most people know that that's Islam monotheism. And most people look at Sudan, and that's why them shout out Arabs and still don't realize that these are black people, African people. And you come with your poison mindset. I don't want to know nothing about Akhenaten. I don't want to know nothing about monotheism. Because you cannot say this thing that the Europeans them have is monotheism, because them have Father, Son, and Holy Spirit and all of these things, and them have a person that they are selected to be God. And God's Son in the same breath, and then God as human, and all these nonsense. You understand? So it's not that we're not capable, but we're not consistent. And then when a person like Sheikh Antidiop come and do things, people only take the fact that he showed that, because there were some scientists, some archaeologists, and all these different ones are saying that the population, they cannot be African black people. And he got upset. And he went and did this, the DNA, the scans, everything, and showed them in a their own laboratory, not for his, and just left that. But here comes us now. Instead of dealing with the fact that we were scholars, we were mathematicians, and we just deal with the fact that we are black. And we get caught up in the black and white wash. And we don't advance sense. And the next, a generation after generation of us come, especially in America, and that's all they're talking. Black, 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 black. And now the people them are transform, Kemet again. Because the transitioning is now for them. So they have rewritten books, made documentary, and are giving lectures all over the place. And because them have the historical channels and everything, they're telling people that aliens, as well as them, is responsible for these pyramids and everything. Because we keep following their narrative and we're too much involved in their business. And we haven't taught anything about the excellence that we accomplish as citizens of Kemet. We are taught about this immaculate conception and looking for a phallus and all of these things. Nonsense. And then we get wrapped up with the blackness. Nonsense. We're not educated. We're being taught how to deal with stereotyping and unraveling and projecting a racist narrative. And who's doing that? We're doing that. So now you see a person there, speaking, spent 50 years examine Islamic law and examine al-Islam. And has been given his dissertation across the earth. And you should know that his people, Caucasians, they're angry. They've been angry for years that him and his colleagues have done such. Because it was meant to, Islam wasn't meant to be projected like that. It's meant to, like, as a lot of other people have been saying, you know, in jihad, we take the sword out and say, yeah, if you don't accept la ilaha illallah, we'll chop off your head. And then you go to a place like Indonesia and you have millions of people and they're all Muslims. And Malaysia. And you ever say, wait, so which territorial army did go over Dessa? Because by that time, the Turks, the Ottoman, have ceased. Because them got tricked with England, you know. Now, is it Islam want, or Muslims want an empire on this earth like Hitler, like America, like Rome? No. Want people to be worshiping God Almighty and doing just and right. Why? We are the children, all of us, of Adam and Eve, Hawa. See? And true, we are their children. We acknowledge that we are their children. We're supposed to be honoring our mother and father. And the creator of them, that's how come we exist. But we want to see it different. We want to see it different. That's why people don't know nothing about Isa, Christ. If you knew, if they allow you to know Christ, what he was doing, what he said, then you know that he was the one who's saying that since I've experienced so much grief and pain and misery, God is going to take me back. And we're going to send, one is going to come that will speak of me. But he would hear. And whatever he hears, he will reveal. But to know him, know that he will speak of me. He will glorify me. But what? Is it because a black man I tell you that? A third grade person. You can read that in King James and all these other books. But you wait for someone to interpret it. You wait for the master to tell you. And then if we tell you say that that's Muhammad, right? Then you say, and then when you go to the Greek and you see that them say Ahmed, and Muhammad's name also is Ahmed, and hey, and then you turn around and say, now you lot are making things fit yourself. So then we say, okay, know the truth and let this truth. The sweetest truth is to know that we can live. So find that truth. And when you find that truth, then you know happiness and you know life, know living. But you're not willing. Not willing. Now here comes another set of people. They're going to tell you Arab this and Arab that and everything. What that does now, it's not sidetracking, it's causing racial disparities. Second of all, you're not trying to find out who these Arabs are. So then you look upon what Britain, everybody create, this place called Saudi Arabia and everything, and then you look at these people, Mediterranean people, that's there, and you're thinking like, wow, and you don't know nothing about them, so all of a sudden you don't like them. And then I don't hear none of our people say, well, watch out, if these people enslave Africans, before we get to that, who the hell are they? Where did they come from? Where did they come from? And how come they're the major population in a free land? Question one. Now, two, if these people, enslave the Habashi, the black African, where the hell are they? What did they do with them? Oh, they stopped them from siring their women. So, where are the Africans? Somebody go, yo, them just let them go back inside. Say, inside where? Them just let them roam across the continent, innit? Okay. That is possible. That's very logical, you know. So I'm saying, when they did have them, us, what did they do with them? What? Castrate them? All of them? We're not talking about 10 here, 20, 30, 40, 50. That's what was said. It's a lot of people, millions. So what did they do with them? And if they did castrate, let's say they castrated a third of them. How come there's a population, rising population, continuous rising population in Africa, around Namibia, around Sudan, all these places? So what the hell are you talking about? Come on, let's get some, bring me up. Let me understand what happened. Because we know that there's cotton, vegetables, cane, all these something that was going on in the Caribbean and in North and South America. So what the hell was happening in this place that you call Mesopotamia, this other place that you call Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia and everything. Come on, come on, come on. And Greater Egypt, come on. And it stops right there. It stops right there. So I'm just preempting a situation where in North Africa we have the Sahara Desert. And in Nubia and Namibia, we had England and Germany doing their eugenics program, to which our brothers and sisters and some French archaeologists and everyone else have found hundreds and thousands of skeleton body remains. And that's why Nubia has been able to take Germany to court. And they're working out something. It's been going on for a long time, but they're up there. You can read that. You can see that too. I'm saying that since there's not been no research, only trying to burn up all of our documentation from Timbuktu, Mali and Shengal, no one has searched the Sahara. But you'll definitely find human remains there. People have, people die in the Sahara. A lot of caravans pass through there, and some of them who never know or sandstorm reached them and so forth. Things happen. But we're talking about hundreds of thousands now. So let's say now them turn around and them find a whole heap that they will call mass grave, and we will follow them, because we're not realizing that the sun moves. We won't be thinking. We'll be too hyperactive, because these others will say, well, it justified in it. It justified in it. Those bloody Arabs, that's what they did. And this is going to happen, Mark my words, this will happen. The French has been very angry. They didn't get our literature. They didn't get our books. They didn't get our scrolls. Very angry. And they told the world that ISIS and all kind of nonsense is in the area. But we were able to grab up, and this is all like 6 years ago, Now, when our Dr. Hakim Quick was there, that was a longer time. And we were cleaning and taking photographs and scanning and all kind of thing to show that we were very intelligent. And we here is the Muslims over those decades. And we kept record, and we wrote books. We were architects. We were engineers. We were mathematicians. We dealt with medical science. Great deal of geometry. We, the Africans. But this is the African Muslim. We have to say that. And we still have the Bantus and everybody that's over there that work with iron and our forms of metal and agriculture. They are brothers and sisters. And we still have the Fulani, and we still have the Maasais and all of these people. I'm searching for the big one, the Houses. But the Bantu, they're big because the Bantu, them just keep moving. And they're very, very good at agriculture. And whatever they did was written by the Muslims in Timbuktu. Yes, we have it. And we also had conflict with what they call today Morocco. Yes. They were always kidnapping our scholars and our Hafiz and take them right back there. And sometimes invite peoples and then won't let them return. The place that them call Morocco today. But we also know that Britain and others disconnected what is called Saudi Arabia from its mainland Africa, from the continent. That we know that. So why is this thing disturbing to my brain? Then God is not a good God, because every race on this earth has despised the black man. And God Almighty has allowed all of them to ill-treat us and still do. You're wrong with that. That don't work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Those people who are listening to Al-Haji Malik al-Shabazz need to listen again. When he was on Hajj and when he came home from Hajj and when he returned from Al-Quba land. Listen to those and you see what he had to say about humanity. Not bigging up white people, bigging up himself to big up us, to say that we can accomplish, and we have to ignore all of that stuff and deal with it when it shows its ugly face in front of us or in our presence. But you're not listening. You wanted the dividing thing to get a hype. And it's very hurtful to think that people are still on that. So now we have the Hebrews and whatever you. I'm not wishing nobody wrong, but I'm telling you, all those things are going to come down with a smash. And because they're young men, it's going to be painful. What I wouldn't like to hear is that they challenge one another. Because a lot of people have come out of prison based on a journey and a reformation program. Yes. You think we're fool? Well, go away from here. So, don't just let the thing just run. Listen to it again and take notes and say to yourself, wait, what's going on? Oh, me never know this. You didn't know this because you didn't want to know. Al-Islam. There's nothing else. Nothing with the purity, the honesty, the truth. Nothing. See? But don't stay over there and catch cold. And then all of a sudden, you want to develop life. And then you want to come for one of week women. Nah. Women ain't for sale. And you just can't come and grab them. You can't touch them. You'll be making a wrong mistake. Wrong move, wrong mistake. You might not live to see another day. Trust me on that one. I tell you. Don't make mistakes. And don't let your loin control your intelligence. I tell you, you will never see another day. Colonel Campbell.
Whoa, now, I wanna know why they are so. Yeah. What a destruction flowing through the universe. Men wasting their money on guns and bombs in the underworld.
And that's another thing. Right here now in England, now, the people them in the Europe now, them have all this war conflict. And the people that take food stock and rising it. And this guy I come and tell them, say, he want plane, he want bomb, he want tanks and everything him saying want him getting. And him getting the training and he's getting some soldiers too. See? So if you never know anything about the Second European War and see how these people them did their thing, then you're damn fool. And you're still in love with them. Because everybody, black people back them to rotted and the people are mischief makers. Them not going to United Nations and sit down and say, yo, here what happened? And this is white and white. And say, here what happened? We have to stop this. It's stopping the world family progression. They haven't done that. This one I said, if you're our ally, then you would do likewise. And we're saying that you people should give him some arms. Because we are going to do X, Z, and Y. And this is America talking. And then the man come here before the coronation. And he saw Prince Charles. And him get the right harass passage from the British Royal Air Force and the British Army and everything. And whilst people attack, things were shipped out there. Then over here now, if our people was talking and talk about our tax money as black people, I'm listening. But the jackass them don't talk that. Them say we, you understand? And all the people them have to do now is say football, them have 2 or 3 days respite because there's some European competition take place. And then all of a sudden everybody, these black man them and some woman too, I got shout out we. And nobody now look upon Africa, and nobody, even the Caribbean, but everybody look upon the Caribbean as a holiday, and they don't look at Africa. Because, as Garvey said, nobody's back, as a people, is up against the world. People that deal with dance, a plan dance, this one want to know about coffee and this, that, and everybody are doing. Make a joke out to the internet and multimedia platform, and we are waste of space. So for me to think that people them could have come and see if them like the taste of Islam, you can't understand why. Because you can't do all that mockery. You can't undress a girl and put her up online, and you can't be out there trying to sell something to get popular for a second and tell people, see, I have a whole heap of hot numbers and all that nonsense. I mean, how stupid is this? And it just goes on and on and on. So now I can figure it out why a person would not really look over at Al-Islam and say, yo, let me just live my life here. But Prince Buster was a Muslim. When him, I've been busting a couple of him tune there. Jazz Nooks, years and years ago, the man take him name as Prince Muhammad. And listen, and many of them did not come as Sunni Muslims. But for them to say they are Muslim, that means they were investigating. See? And some who investigated proper decide to go on Farrakhan's journey because them can still hustle around the street. So that mentally inadequateness. Because you see some people that never did too well at school. And may I say at school in terms of general education. And the way them start them life is on the street. So them can't find them can't transfer themselves, switch. A person who find themselves doing a 9 till 5 or clocking in and everything, and them work an administrative job and so forth, not a packing job and warehouse and everything, that person, can make that step. And I'm saying it theologically because a person who don't have no aspiration, desire, them either they on the packing shelf and all them something there, and the best part maybe is a mechanic. Him don't have the zeal, but the one who go on the other side, him have the patience and him have the zeal. It's just that maybe him don't know how to caress a woman for several years. Him only know how to caress her for a couple of weeks. Yeah? Him possess sexual understanding. And then he want to blame his mother for that to him possess some understanding of sex. Yeah? And the poor girl, gee whiz. And then a man like that I'll have a whole heap of children about the place and him don't know one of them.
Oh yeah, them release the chain, but them I use them well. Oh yeah, them release the chain, but them I use them well. Jaja have them in the region, in the valley of the sea.
12 Tribes of Israel, let it out, let it.
People all over the world, they are fighting. We ain't united. They're fighting. They don't want to unite. They're fighting.
Yo, Shaka, they missing you already, Come. Mighty Diamonds, long.
It's been a long time. We don't have any fun. It's been a long time.
See? And that was the time where I grew up, because things tense here. See? Yeah, if you don't get yourself bust up last week or whatever and everything else, you walk the street like you walk on rotted eggshells. You understand? And there's no gymnasium to go say about you fit up yourself, It's just a run on the street you run, and in your bedroom you put push-ups and sit-ups and everything. Yeah. And then you box the door and mash up all your knuckles and everything. You see? And then you do some karate or kung fu from the movie that we watch. You try something, and prepare yourself mentally. Yeah, I tell you.
Oh, juvenile, you know I like your style.
And now we want to come and chant down Babylon. Come, Tony. Tony Tough. Ain't blow.
Wadada, Salamta. Well, yeah, yes. Move it. Chant on Babylon, yeah. Chant on Babylon.
Yes, I never trouble. And the double.
Never trouble now. Whoa, no. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo. Whoa. Never trouble now. No.
You get warriors, I tell you, man. Warriors.
Can't you hear me? Oh, yeah. Well. No. We want no war on ya. We want no war on ya. No warrior. No tarrier. Those of you who love to fight, soon we'll have to fight.
Nourish Reed, we are some man. Come.
I don't wanna be around when those days come falling. I don't want to hear you calling. I don't want to be.
Linville Cruiser Thompson, Shaka, come. Hey boy, man, I tell you.
Come, let's praise and to die. Dada is the conqueror. They can never conquer Jah. They can never conquer Jah. Dada is the conquering Lion of Judah. He has break the chain and set dreadlocks free. Free again and again. Dada is a
I Lawe.
whoa, yeah, boy, you keep on running down, you're gonna lose your soul, you know, boy, all on their mind is just material things, you know, they don't seem to know.
See? And that's why I'm to a lot of man. Yeah? The man have materialistic mind, and then the man have a woman that have the same something. And them a live in England, you know. And England is the ultimate goal. It's the goal of the accomplishment for them to write it. You tell them about Caribbean, they don't want to know that. So they want fish and chip. Yeah, joking, man. Make believe world. Come. Big it up.
Hey, boom, 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 ah, boom, boom. Hey, boom, 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 ah, boom, boom.
Let's get together. Come on and gather around me, children. Let's get together and sing this song. You've got to settle down, children. Let's all join in and sing this song. Sing and sing it.
shakalaka, boom, boom, boom. Boom, shakalaka, boom, boom, boom. Boom, shakalaka, boom, boom, boom. Boom, shakalaka, boom, boom, boom. Hey! Wanna take the time to thank the Lord. Thank Him for the soul deep in my heart. Thank Him for the grass that grows on the land. Even the birds, it's a sweet song. Get it together.
I tell him my mother feel good enough. Get that one a break. Come.
Let's get together. Come on and gather around me, children. Let's get together and sing this song. You've got to settle down, children. Let's all join in and sing this song. Sing it, boom, shakalaka, boom, boom, boom. 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 Hey! Wanna take the time to thank the Lord. Thank Him for the soul deep in my heart. Thank Him for the grass that grows on the land. Even the birds, it's a sweet song. Get it together. Can you dig it? Boom, shakalaka, boom, boom, boom.
Yes, one more, my gun. Come, sugar.
Every little thing you run for Babylon. Whoa, wicked man. Every little thing you run for Babylon. Every little thing you run for wicked man. Every little thing you run for Babylon. Every little thing you run for wicked man. A little herb I smoke. You run for Babylon.
Yeah, are you see all right now? I tell you, man, they are California to royalty that earn $1 billion royalty dollars out of ganja. See? Could you imagine? And the black man in a jam rock can earn $2 royalty million. I tell you. That means it come like when I no sense. And it's not that. It's the people them who call themselves government. It's the people who call themselves government. And then you have all these disgusting youth them and make Rasta look like some pancoots. Why is the whole thing is to set Rasta not to understand or deal with economics? And it's not that Rasta don't know economics from yesterday and the one morning, you know. It's just that them say, yo, you can't let them bushy hair boy them people them come and run some rotted independence over us. And at that, and the people them bring in one Trinidadian man from America, but how he come to assess and evaluate and talk to all the herbalists and everything. And all he wanted to do is to know the regions and the different senses. And to collect the seeds them. Rasta can't make $2 million royalty dollar. And in California, you have people them to write it. I tell you, billions of dollars. And one young boy to write him, I buy one basketball team and a baseball team. This year here, out of ganja, out of marijuana. Yeah, joke, man. The thing sickening, star. Yo, Peter, Tosh. As Shaka would say, guidance.
Xavier, let Jah be praised. The goose and the ghost, let Jah be praised. Madani Alam, let Jah be praised. Let him be praised. Let him be praised. You better let him be praised. Watereth the hills from his chambers, and the earth is satisfied, so satisfied. He maketh the grass to grow for animals. Jah made the herb for man. He made the herb for man. Jah made the herb for man. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like grass, and they shall wither like corn.
Peter Tosh that, you know. Wow.
Xavier, let Jah be praised. The goose and the ghost, let Jah be praised. Madani Alam, let Jah be praised. Let him be praised. Let him be praised.
You know, one of us kill him, innit? Yeah. Could you imagine? Oh gosh, man. Peter. And somebody that he was helping, that he helped, you know. Person come out of jail. You understand? And he helped him. It's not somebody him know, you know. Somebody him gained to know. And he helped him. Helped him put him life together. Right it. And then come take his life. Come rob him, take him life. Guidance.
Lords of Lords and the Savior. Lords of Lords and the Savior. Lords of Lords and the Savior. Lords of Lords and Savior.
To the say Junior Del Ghetto, but I will go mischief maker. Dennis Emmanuel Brown. Come.
Settle down and be a man. Whoa, yeah. Said if you wanna be in mischief, you're never gonna reach your goal, oh no. If you wanna be in mischief.
Yo, Jaguar, I tell him I'm saying it the other day, you know, so Lydie and Zebby, make him know, you know, me no, hey, 9 nights and him something there, and me, see? But me say my condolences and everything, me hear the news about Brian, you know, young man, you understand? Yeah. So, I send the condolences again, you know, you understand? And you have to stand strong still. What we can say, you know what I mean? It's just that, so it go, life, you understand? One thing I can say, you have to prepare yourself. All of us, man, we have to prepare ourselves. When we're young, you know, we don't think about preparing everything. We just organize ourselves to go a party and everything, and we organize ourselves and go to school and go to college and then go to work. You see? But Islam teachers said same way, you have to prepare yourself for death. You understand? Because you don't want to leave burdens and your loved ones, the family and everything. Right? But the reality is that you have to just check it, that is the reality. We will die. You know? So once we're there and we're strong and we are do what we are do, we have to prepare yourself. You understand? There's some cultures that just them talk about death, you know. My wife always she not always, but she talks about the grave. Cause in Islam, you don't want your grave to be hard. You don't want your grave, you don't want to be inside there and get squeezed. It's a strange thing we are talking about. You understand? And you know the angel will come at that last bit, you know, and question you. You see, 3 questions, you know, in your grave. You get it up here before him take your soul, before the angel take your soul. But in the grave, oh gosh, man, that's your last. Hey, yo, you understand? So she's always going about it, and you know, and then when you think about it, you know, if a person is consistent with certain things, you know, so that when you question them about, this is the thing, that, hey, what I want to say now, if one of our people get licked, get them finger pinch or them toe, a Jesus that them shout out, you know. It's a joke. Real thing that them shout out Jesus. You understand? So imagine now, the angel of death asks you, who's your Lord and Savior? And you say, Jesus, you're done with. You're done. No heaven for you. You don't give your testimony to a man. And probably the angel will say, we don't know who you're talking about anyway. Right? So you get double portion. Oh, gosh, man. You're joking. So, Dennis Emmanuel Brown. Neil. So we lost, hey, in this year, you know, lot of people, man. I mean, every second we lose people are go and people are come. But this year, you know what I mean, people are close to you, people you know, you understand, and everything. Yeah. Like when we get up sometime, I say to myself, I can't ring that brother there now. I can't ring him and say, yo, hear what him? Yeah. And when Shaka passed, I can say to him, hear what him? Let me do this and this, you know. You understand? Because Shaka, you know. Say, what do you mean, Shaka? Say, yeah, man. Shaka passed. See? So I was just reminding myself that he's passed. And then, obviously, there was a void, you know. There's no one for talk to in that. Yeah. Plenty.
Moogie yogie yogie yum, yang yang. Moogie yogie yogie yum, yang. Moogie yogie yogie yum, yang yang. Moogie yogie yogie yum. You will get nowhere if you don't act fair.
Yes, so that's the guidance, you know what I mean? Everyone, in relation to Islam, pay attention. You know, we're going to bring like next week now, we're going to bring the water. See, the water. Yeah, you understand? So you see how platable water and salt water don't mix. And you can't see the barrier, you see? Oh yes, there's a barrier there, you know? You don't see the barrier. But you know, most of us know about the salmon, you know, when the salmon leave the ocean, leave the sea and come to the river. Huh? Yeah, and spawn, you know? And then make their way back up. You understand? So, what a beautiful thing in seeing that and realizing that this is nature. The almighty creator, you see? So it's, you know, life presents a lot of looks for us, you know? It's for us to just turn around and say, yo, yeah, him give we that, or we paying attention, you know, and so on. So, and then we have some Hollywood artists, you know, people that people might not know are Muslims, you know, and everything. Comedian and others, you know. That's their life. And it's not Nation of Islam. It's a strange thing, we have to keep saying that. There are Muslims, you know, proper things. See? So we have to say guidance, we have to go with this tune all the while. Wicked. the other day, me I say about the Lovers Rock, a Leonard Chin. A Leonard Chin set the foundation of the music. See? Leonard Chin. And then we are say Ethiopia. You have to look at Ethiopia carefully and properly. Ethiopia, Abyssinia. See? Properly. And then you will appreciate, you get to see that we have something as black African people. You understand? And then just leave there and go to the kingdom of Uganda and continue in the kingdom of Sudan. You see? Oh gosh, man. Don't get mixed up with what's going on right now. But just, even though that's important, still have a look. You understand? Because it's a whole history. But Ethiopia, you have to know the journey of Abyssinia, Ethiopia. I tell you. It's a big kingdom, you know. Big kingdom. And if I want to go there now, you see, there's areas of that land, of that nation, that you would think, say, yo, you may run because it's old. Let me just say it like that, it's old. But if you go there with an open mind, you would appreciate it and say, yo. And there are people, big population of people that live and them have contentment. See? But then you'll get vexed a little more, because when you see all the Danish and the Swedes and all these different people there, then you're thinking like, all right, see? Okay. But it's us. It's us. Right? And I'm not saying to you go to some precinct where there is 90% Muslim. It's 100% of us, and we are natural and we are Muslims. But the culture is very important because it respects everybody. See? And that the ones them don't come back out here and say about. They don't say that. See? Because the way they were taught, you understand? Is to create this animosity, this disparity. See? And Africans weren't like that. See? We have learned that shit. And then the people then come and create problems and promise me this and I'm going to believe him. And then we kill one another. We don't kill one another. We do. We listen to him and him say, get rid of that one, and we dispose of ourselves. See? So, better must come. It's sad, isn't it, to think like that. That we're beg for better. Better must come. So, Sugar, we can't forget your family again and again. Guidance. Oh, you must also go and look. I did say I was going to do it. And front room, see? And you see the whole of the Selassie, but there's one photo that they took down, them take it away, where His Imperial Majesty Selassie did leave Ethiopia, his home, with him compatriots, and he was in Jerusalem. But I've put those up where the British allegedly sail a ship in the Red Sea and some other place and dock, and he was disembarking in Jerusalem, in Palestine. See? So I've put up something like 3. One where he was in there and he was doing some administrative work, and then the newspaper clippings and so on. But when I look for the other one, the first one that I had, and everything. These Google people, they seem to monitor you and them hear and them just sure. But if you look on front room and look at crazy, you see there's something up there. You understand? Serious thing. And support my page, man. Look on Things and Time on front room. And support my page. 'Cause my page is very education. The initiative is education. See? We are sure that we are proud people and we have women of dignity. Oh, yes. You understand? And them say a picture is worth more than 1,000 words. So, you see a whole heap of that. The literature come. You know what I mean? I do it right now, but I haven't put nothing up because you have to like proofread the thing. And then, you know, there's some people out there going to say that you have said that's not authentic and all of them something there. So I'm going through getting all my references and everything for those type of minded people, you know, that would say that. You see it? Okay, right? And I have to fix a camera and get the developers them to take, well, not a camera, one of them micro something, and get the Ethiopia, get get the photos. You understand? Yeah. And people will see. At least they will see me there. And then down there, Tanzania, and all them something there. You know, real life things. Something that me take myself and my wife and my brethren them and so forth. Real things, you understand? All the things I put up is real, but these will be mine, personally mine. You understand? And you see me with ourselves, you know what I mean? Our people, them. Guidance gone.
Give me what is mine, mine. Give me what is mine. It's about time. Alright. Give me a slice of the cake. Yes, that I man help to bake. That's all I want. Just a slice of the cake. Man, that's all I will take. Every time I try a thing, and it seems like I'm about.
And the Islamic thing, I just show people say that there's nothing can dispute that Al-Quran don't come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God Almighty. See? And that me I do. So if people don't understand, right, we take it where science across the earth, and all of those people have been examining. They've been criticizing, but they've been examining, and then some of them just turn around and say, watch out, I'm embracing this. Because what is said, we don't even know yet. See? And for a lot of them, it starts with embryology. I tell you, a lot of them, and then the water. Oh, gosh, man. You see? And you see a number of researchers bust out in tears. See? Yes. And it's not them I read the book, you know. It's we I read the book. And then we are translate the Arabic into their language, wherever they were from. See? And then them just digest it. See? And then there's some that we have done the work on a board and some on flip charts and everything, and give them several dissertation in relation to the word that were used and how that word can mean this when it's put with that, and so forth and so forth. And these people are like, wow, he could not have known these things. You understand? So we have put that there for people, all the doubters, them to turn around and say, wait a minute. You understand? And hook, line, and sink, maybe some people just surrender and say, yo, you know what? You understand? So that way I deal with. You see? One sister, she had put a lot of things up. She's done, as far as I'm concerned, a marvelous piece of work. And some person sent her something where an African man, a Caribbean man with dread on him head, with him head knot up. And their purpose was to try and get some people them reciting the Bible like how we can recite the Quran. But him just making noise so that we can't get nobody that can recite even half of a verse or anything. So when him do, that we all Caribbean people would know, him put together a group that was singing some verses, because them take some lines out of Genesis and everything and sing something. And the sister who filmed the thing broke down in tears, because she was first laughing, but she broke down in tears to think that all the years of her life, that's where she was at, and her parents. No seeing that there's nobody, including the Pope, who says on the same documentary that it's not possible. It's not possible. He said there's no rhythm. It's not possible. And one Englishman from this country, and finish up in a ball of tears, because all the people that got together made him feel like, yes, something gonna happen. But you know, a lot of why it didn't happen, and they didn't really get anywhere, their minds were in a competition to think that they can do what we do and they can do what our children do. Now, if that was given to them or came to them from God, then they should know the rights and the rights of that and how to deal with it. Now, that shows it didn't come from God. It didn't come from God. Now, how are you going to take something that come from God and God not give permission to say, well, he's out of date and this is the 21st century or whatever, and you're taking in this and putting in that? Nah. Nah. We're bright people. Leave it alone. Guidance.